just a start. Always popping, Zan, yeah. My body hurts, can't stand. Restart system.
Yeah.
The world of Fortnite is changing fast. Batman is the first person since Midas and his Doomsday device to reveal new secrets about the loop that could change the way we look at Fortnite forever. But with the Spire continuing to destabilize, we don't have much time to prepare for what's going to be unfolding on the island. Jones and the Foundation are leaving secret messages for us which we think are foreshadowing the live event, all revealed in this video. But in order for you to see the bigger picture, you have to understand the real mystery and dangers of Fortnite Season 6, which is the Spire. And our journey begins with a new character from the season. Let's introduce you to Tirana. Born with the rare ability to see the past using the island's many strange artifacts, we saw her arrive in Fortnite during the Season 6 opening event. The reason I'm bringing her up is because when we talked to her on the island, it began an entire quest that reveals new mysteries and gives us our first look at the return of Kevin the Cube. So let's break it down. So Tirana originally talked to us and said she found something. Apparently it's a strange device with some sort of message on it, but before she just hands it over, she asks for something in return, an artifact. As we mentioned, Tirana can see the past using these artifacts, so upon completing her task, it's revealed we brought her an old picture of Jonesy. But of course, it's never that simple, as the device she promised us has now disappeared, stolen by Raz. Raz is another Season 6 character, and according to his description, ever since he was a boy, the Spire has called to Raz in his dreams. Now, after a lifetime of training, he is finally ready to tackle its darkest mysteries. This implies Raz knows way more than he lets on, and if you go and confront him about stealing the device, he surprisingly tells us where it is. He claims it's very interesting once we understand it, and this device is revealed as the last log, meaning that this tape is John Jones's final reality log before he became trapped in the loop. I'll let you get a listen. So we've been speculating a lot about what the crystal song could be, and it seems that Jones is referring to the crystals at the Spire. They actually sometimes whisper when you go near them, so it's possible that he's telling us to listen to what they say. And of course Raz realizes this and says the reality log is directing us to the Spire. Because it's so dangerous there, he's been working on a way to disguise himself to get to the inner sanctum, and it turns out he can make us one as well. We just have to bring him the resources to do so. And the reason this is so important is because of how interesting these resources actually are. First, he requires an artifact stolen from the Spire, and once we find it, we realize it's a miniature stone statue of the Spire itself. Next, we need a necklace from the body of a Spire Guardian, and while we still don't know who the Spire Guardians actually are, this necklace reveals their hidden leader. By looking closely at it, you can see the Imagined Order's logo. A message from the Foundation plays. about how the island works, especially the loop, and Raz isn't the only person revealing new secrets about the world of Fortnite. Batman has now been thrown onto the Fortnite island, and with him being the world's greatest detective, he is solving the mystery of the loop as we speak. Fortnite's 0-point comic is here, and the secrets revealed will change the story of Fortnite forever. It kicks off in Gotham City, where Batman finds a huge rift in the sky. He spots Harley Quinn trying to follow someone into it, and while he tries to stop her, she eventually jumps in. But before he can analyze what this is, Batman is pulled into the rift and completely blacks out. He wakes up on an island he doesn't recognize, completely unaware of what happened. He then immediately spots a huge storm heading straight towards him. Putting his detective skills to work, Batman quickly realizes that this isn't just any ordinary storm. Someone has to be behind this. But before he could finish that thought, Batman is ambushed by a looper, and it's here that he realizes he can't speak. It's a common thing with being trapped in the loop, as we learned when Thor came to the island back in Season 4. And that's when it hits him. He doesn't even remember who he is. At this point, he just continues to explore the island, where he comes across a skilled fighter in a cat costume. But she's different to others. He has some sort of connection to her and helps her take out waves and waves of enemies together. But before they can get to the bottom of what's going on, the storm closes in, everything goes black, and the loop resets. Flash forward, and Batman has awoken. Once again, his memory reset by the storm. Suddenly, he has a new suit of armor, which makes us wonder just how much time has passed since his first loop. Looking down, he notices scribbles on his arm, revealing research that will help guide him throughout the island. One of those scribbles are coordinates to find his bat shack in the woods, a location actually in game right now. It's here he learns that the loop resets every 22 minutes, so he doesn't have much time before his efforts go to waste. With no time to spare, he quickly tracks down Catwoman and hands her a batarang, saying that he's her friend. But before she responds, his 22 minutes are up and the loop continues, resetting everything all over again. And so the next loop begins, with Catwoman waiting outside the bat shack holding the batarang. It worked. She doesn't understand why, but she trusts him. They agree that they have to find a way to escape this loop, so they set off to explore the island for clues. And while on their search for answers, they're ambushed. Catwoman is shot in the back, dying in Batman's arms, and that's when he realizes that even though your memory resets, the loop doesn't reset your feelings. Next reset, they explore the final part of the island, but this time running into Harley Quinn. Batman tries to recruit her, but she just shows no interest, and that's when it clicks. He realizes that the key to everything isn't the people, it's the storm. And with the time he has left, Batman leaves another scribble for himself before time runs out. Boom, waking up again. He understands his mission now. Using his research, he calculates where the center of the storm will be, and he takes Catwoman straight there to test his theory. They place one of his tools in the exact center and head straight back there in the next loop. Miraculously, it's exactly where they left it, confirming Batman's theory that the center of the storm is some kind of safe zone and the key to escaping the loop. But to get to that point, they have to face off against the entire island. Absolutely destroying everyone in their way and holding off hordes of enemies, Batman and Catwoman become the only ones remaining at the center of the storm. And that's when they realize only one of them can escape, and the other must stay behind. They share one last kiss, and Batman gives a cold stare to Catwoman. This is a signal for her to drive a dagger into his heart, resetting him and letting her escape the loop. Will Catwoman come back to save Batman in the next issue of the comics? Will Batman discover the Foundation or John Jones before this happens and help save them? Could the Imagined Order be behind all of this, and will they put a stop to Batman's plan? Find out next time.